The follow-up is simple. Ask a question, listen to the answer, then follow up. I'm your host, Noah Kozlov. Enjoy.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of The Follow-Up. I'm Eden, and this is my dad, Noah, and every week we sit on my bed and have a conversation about something I want to talk about. And this week, I'm going to ask Dad some questions I have about football.
But first, so last week, I was in the bedroom.
On Zoom.
in my room for isolation purposes. And so it's nice to be back together. Mm-hmm. And a few weeks ago, you were wiggling your tooth really close. But last week we were on Zoom, so I don't. Some people had asked, like, "Oh, she lost her tooth." So if you want to go a little bit closer, that's a pretty big hole. And that tooth's starting to come in.
It is.
Do you feel the tooth coming in?
No.
Like with your tongue, you can start to feel it a little bit, right?
I can feel
like
it.
In that hole. And what about that tooth next to it?
A little bit wiggly.
But not wiggly to the point where you can wiggle it with your tongue yet.
No.
Any other teeth wiggly?
No.
I feel like you could fit a whole ziti noodle in there.
Where?
In that hole. In that gap.
Yeah.
So anyway, so football. You watch a bunch of the Penn State games, some of that.
Some NFL.
Some NFL games. I spent a lot of time with Joe and Dante working with them and how they can get better talking about football after playing football at the highest level for all those years and calling college football games. But I haven't watched as much NFL recently. Well, really, usually because I'm coming home on Sundays and college basketball games. But anyway, when you do watch football, what kind of questions do you have?
My first question is, how it's when they have first and 10. What does that mean?
Okay, so you have 4 chances to get the number of yards. So first down and let's start with 10. Okay. It's always in increments. It's in increments of 10. When you get a first down, then it's all right. Now we need 10 more yards to get another first down. Okay. So first down and 10, meaning that if you get 10 yards on your first try, first down, then you get another set of 4 tries. But say on first and 10, you start and get 5 yards. Then next it would be what?
5th?
No, it would be second and 5. So you went from first and 10, first try, first down, and 10 yards to now you got 5. So it's now your second try, second down, and 5 yards.
Right.
And then on your second try, if it's second and 5, if you get those 5 yards, then it resets. Now it's first and 10 again. So you're always trying to get first downs, exactly. And then if you get to fourth down and you haven't gotten that first down yet, you then have a decision to make. You can either punt by punting the ball far to the other team, or going for it to try to get that first down. So say it's 4th and 1. Depending on where you are on the field, you might go for it. But if you're backed up close to your end zone, like you're trying to go this way to score a touchdown, but the ball is back here, and you don't get it, the other team gets the ball from that spot. So it's a big risk.
Right. So I understand that, but why would you want to punt? What's the
Okay, so
what's the purpose of punting instead of running? And why do you want to punt it so far?
So you want it because you always want the other team to have to go a long distance in order to score a touchdown. So the whole field is 100 yards.
Yeah.
There's 3 feet in 1 yard, so that's 900. There's 300 feet is the football field. So it's 100 yards. So you always want the other team to go as far as possible.
Right. To get the ball.
To try to score.
Okay.
So when you punt.
And also to get the ball, right?
Yeah, right. So when you punt, when you're saying punts,
make it easy just for them to.
Exactly. So if it's fourth down, say you're at your own 20-yard line, okay? So Eden's team has to go, still has 80 yards to score a touchdown.
You probably punt.
Right, and it's fourth down. And if you don't get, whether it's 1 yard, 2 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, whatever it is, and you don't get it, then the other team, my team, would get the ball right there at the 20 and then only have to go 20 yards to score a touchdown. And that's not very difficult to do. So you punt it, and say you probably punt it maybe 50 or 60 yards. Now the other team has to go a long way in order to score. Yeah.
But then they get the ball.
Right, they get the ball, sure. But they get the ball much further away, and then your defense has to do its job to try to get the ball back.
If you did that 50, that would be at the 70-yard line. And if you did that 60,
well, there's no 70. The field is broken up into two 50-yard fields.
Oh. Well,
yeah.
You don't like the second.
Right, so it goes, so your half of the field is, the 1 to the 50, or 1 to the 49, and then you have the 50-yard line, which is in the center, and then it goes 49 to the other end zone. Mm-hmm.
Why do players run out of bounds?
So to stop the clock, especially if you don't have any timeouts, you get 3 timeouts per half, and you don't have any timeouts, you run out of bounds to stop the clock, which is important if you're trying to come back at the end of the game, trying to stop the clock. And because if you stay in bounds, the clock just keeps running and running, then you have less time to score. And also, players might run out of bounds if they don't want to get hit, which is understandable, because maybe...
Who wants to get hit?
Right, but some guys will have the ball, lower their shoulder, and try to get like an extra yard or 2. Sometimes it's just not worth it, especially for a quarterback who can get hurt easily, and it's a very valuable position. So guys will just run out of bounds. Mm-hmm. So it's for safety purposes and to stop the clock.
And why would you want to, instead of running for a touchdown, why would you do a field goal?
Oh, good question. All these are good questions. So a field goal counts for 3 points.
Right.
So say it's...
And, what is it called?
Touchdown?
6 points.
6 points.
To have the extra points.
Right, or if you get a 2-point conversion, then you get 2 more points. So, all right, so a field goal. So most kickers in the NFL, at least, can make a field goal from, I'd say, 53 yards away. Yeah, they could do that. Okay. So if you are, say you've got the ball you've crossed midfield, and now you're at the, say, 20-yard line, or let's say 30-yard line. Okay. And it's fourth down. Say it's 4th and 3.
Okay.
And you don't think that you can get that first down. You can't get those 3 yards. And it could be towards the beginning of the game, you just want to get points on the board. You feel more comfortable. You're not going to punt it because
Who wants to punt?
You're not going to punt it from that close.
If you can score, you don't
exactly.
want to punt.
Right, exactly right. So,
and you could probably kick it out of bounds if you punt it from that close.
Well, you would kick it through the end. You wouldn't punt it from there.
Yeah, but it would still go out of bounds.
Yes, but it just wouldn't make sense to do that.
Right.
So then you decide, okay, well, if I go for it on 4th and 3 to try to get a first down and then try to extend it to try to get a touchdown, and I don't get it, the other team gets the ball. So I just want to score points. I want to get 3 points. 3 points better than no points. So that's when they kick the field goal. And when you kick a field goal from where the ball is, say the ball is on the 30-yard line, the snap goes back 7 yards to where the holder, usually the punter or the backup quarterback is the holder. So that's 7 yards. And then the end zone itself is 10 yards. So from wherever the ball is at the line of scrimmage, where the center snaps it, you add 17 yards to that for the length of the field goal. So the ball is snapped at the 30, in this example, back 7 yards to where the holder holds the ball, kicker kicks it.
Which would be at the 23rd.
No, it goes back. So kicks it from the 37, and then it travels 37 yards to the end zone itself, but then the goalposts are in the back of the end zone, so then you have got to travel another 10 yards, so it's 47 yards.
Oh.
A long time ago, the goalpost used to be in the front, but then guys were like running into the goalpost. Yeah, rules have changed.
Who would want to run into a goalpost?
Nobody.
Like 47 times a game.
But well, they didn't do it that. But yes, but the rules have changed and the equipment has changed.
Also, is the line of scrimmage in different places, or is it always in one?
The line of scrimmage is wherever the last play ended. Like that's where the ball.
Yeah, but
is.
It's like an invisible line.
Yeah. It's
right.
invisible. On TV, it's a
yellow line.
It's a blue line.
What is
on
the
TV
yellow line?
Is the first down line. So that was one of the great television innovations, was putting that first down line on TV. If that's not on the field, that we just see that on TV, that yellow line.
Or the blue line.
The blue line is the line of scrimmage.
Right, that's what
and then
you've got to get the blue line.
Yeah, and you've got to get to that yellow line for the first down.
So that helps you understand it more.
Right. So when you're watching, you're not guessing, oh, did they get the first down, did they not? You have that yellow line.
And also, like, another thing that relates with that is when they're showing clips from the game, they can use those circles into which players to watch.
Oh yeah, when they're drawing on the screen, the telestrator.
Right.
Yeah, when they draw on the screen.
But that was like an invention that goes with
exactly.
that, right?
So John Madden, the broadcaster who just passed away, you saw a few tributes to John Madden. He was the first one to start drawing on the screen and really teaching football
was
that way.
When he? I think this is like he used to draw on a whiteboard.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He started on the whiteboard and then took it to actually using like what he was doing on a whiteboard, and then doing it on the screen itself, which is the telestrator, which is used in all sports now. So they can draw and they have different effects.
But they don't usually do that in basketball.
Not as much.
Never see
no.
them.
Just not as much. Much more in football. Because
there's so many more players.
Well,
so your eyes can just be wandering all around the field.
Yes. In football, there's so many things that are going on that you use the telestrator to make sure that the audience is looking at one place in particular. Right. But also in football, there's so much more time in between plays. Like in basketball, a play happens, then another play's happening the other way, another play's happening the other way. So you can only really use it at maybe sometimes coming out of commercial, so maybe only use it maybe 2 or 3 times in a basketball game. But in football, you could draw on the screen every play if when there's a replay, because there's all that time in between plays.
And there's always replays, always.
Yeah, sometimes unnecessarily, but
there's just always replays.
Yeah.
For some reason.
So do you enjoy watching football?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there is a ton going on.
But I have to understand it better more because I feel like it's just so many things to get out for.
And look, from spending time with Dante and Joe, I've learned a ton about everything else that goes on the field.
You have.
Absolutely, and I think it's made me a better broadcaster, trying to understand what is happening, and I still need to get a better idea of different players' responsibilities. But they do a good job explaining it and knowing that all of these things happen in a second. Like
half in a blink.
It's crazy how much happens and how much they have to be responsible for in just like a moment.
Like faster than my blink.
Right.
Faster.
Just like that.
Faster.
You have to look at the play, see what's going on, talk to each other.
Didn't you tell me that it would be like less than a blink?
Sometimes it can be.
Or you didn't know it in a blink.
Yeah, you have to. So when the quarterback would come up to the line of scrimmage, and on defense, Dante would be looking and seeing. And I'm talking about Dante Whitner, played in the NFL for a long time, and Joe Staley played NFL for a long time for the 49ers. And so Dante would look to see what the offense was doing, would communicate with his linebackers in front of him because he was a safety. So you have the safeties in the back, linebackers, and the linemen, defensive linemen, and the cornerbacks on the outside guarding the wide receivers.
Quarterbacks?
Corner. They're on the corners guarding the wide receivers, and so
that makes sense.
So you have to communicate. Hey, this is this. This is this. If he does this, go here. And a lot of times his hand signals. It's wild. And then Joe would look at it from the offensive line, and then they would all communicate with each other.
Like hand signals?
Hand signals sometimes, maybe just a tap at the head. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's wild. It's crazy. You gotta be real smart to figure this stuff out. Yeah. As a football player. Mm-hmm.
Definitely even more as a football player. but you have to be really smart to even understand when you're watching it.
I agree. I agree. I mean, to a certain extent, yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So we'll watch. We can watch 49ers now. Eagles are in the playoffs.
Yay!
Which I'm shocked about.
But I know they're not gonna make it to the
Super Bowl. No, I mean, but I'm shocked that they're in the playoffs.
They're not that good.
No, you're right. They're not terrible, but they're not that good.
They're not terrible, but they're not the best this year.
No.
Definitely.
No. But I'm shocked they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, because I think they're like 7-9.
No, I think they're 9-8. I think.
Still more wins.
Because this year they're playing 17 games instead of 16. They added an extra game.
So.
A lot of games.
Counting the playoffs?
No, and that's just the regular season.
And they've played 16 games.
17.
Already?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of games.
Yep. All right. Nice to be back on your bed.